plays. Hot sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All plays, working your faces. Straight up the field, so time our laces. Hot sports all plays.
Yeah, let's get it on, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Touchdown Crew. It's another Sunday. Yes, I know. Sunday, but no football. Well, listen, that's coming to an end in a few weeks. The USFL is hitting. I know it's not your favorite teams, but they could be. They could be. Honestly, they could be. Coach, to my left, it's going to be a two-man show tonight or today. Why do I keep saying tonight? It's going to be a two-man show. So Coach is going to be joining us, and we are going to go ahead and talk what we talk about best is football. And now that may not be just covering what goes on the field, but definitely off the field. And in some strange circumstance, what's going on in the press booth. Because there's some moves being made here, Coach. There's some moves being made by a pretty handsome, blue-eyed former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, making more money than he did playing with the Cowboys. I mean, how do you go from that? You go ahead and put your life on the line every Sunday because those are the Dallas Cowboys. Well, they were pretty good back then. But you're making more money in the commentary booth now over at ESPN and Monday Night Football. What about Al Michaels? Where is he in this mix? I'm just saying, though, that's the type of stuff that we may be talking about. So also, we'll take your insights on as well. We got coaching rumors going around, player rumors going around, and the USFL, they did do their draft. There was a few players out there, not anything that is like going to blow us away. No Johnny Manziel. I did not see him in there.
Yeah, didn't.
So I think Johnny may be holding out for the XFL because the XFL and the NFL are kind of like, they got on. It's like, what would make you, the NFL, what would make you go ahead and say, hey, XFL, we want you, not the USFL. USFL's playing in 2 weeks, in a couple of months. We don't want the USFL. We want to wait another year. We want to go to the XFL. Does that strike you as odd? Is that like, hey, listen, we don't have any faith in this spring league, even though it's revamped, even though it's something that teams are accustomed to people that are probably like in their 50s and 60-year-old range, so they're going after the older generation. I mean, does that spell trouble for the USFL already?
Oh, of course, man. But you gotta realize, I guess that was one of the things that The Rock coming on and doing the opening. And one thing about it, man, you can say whatever you want to say. The Rock is one of the top actors or performers in the game right now.
Absolutely. Top performers. I mean, whether he steps into a wrestling ring, whether he's going on the Fast and Furious, whether he does any type of action movie, he is a star out there. And that's why in LA, guess where all the stars are? In LA.
Yeah.
But so you see The Rock coming out in the NFL. Now it's starting to all fit together now. Like, we wonder, what the hell's The Rock doing? What is he doing? He's over there pumping up everybody. And you got to think, maybe half that audience had no idea. What the hell is The Rock say finally for? I mean, what is he doing? I mean, I'm a wrestling fan. I know that shtick. I know what he was doing. But it's like half the audience probably didn't know what the hell he was doing because they don't follow wrestling.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's crazy. Like so on Fridays I play music. We play music. We do stuff.
Yeah.
Kids said, "Hey, coach, can you play the Rock song?" Like Rock has he's rapping. He has his own tequila. He has his own TV show. Like, so I mean, he's doing
it all.
Yeah, me and you know him as the wrestler, but the younger age, the high school and under, You say even 22, 23, they know him as the Fast and the Furious. They know him as that's what they know him.
They know him as Dwayne Johnson,
yes.
not The Rock.
Yes, not the with the little eyebrow raise and everything.
Yeah, they don't know about that. They don't know about him talking about eating pie, and we all know what that was back then.
Yeah,
you know what eating pie meant. So it just, and now it makes sense. Now it's like apparently NFL was in the deal. It's like, hey, listen, Rock, let's bring you out for a little test. Let's see how you can get the fans motivated, because if you can do that, if you got the Vince McMahon-esque in you to get the fans pumped up and motivated, maybe this XFL thing may be a good deal. But apparently it looks like they were already in cahoots, before this deal was finalized. And now what the NFL is doing is they're actually, I mean, in no uncertain terms, they haven't really come out and say developmental, but they did say they're going to look to the XFL as innovations. They're going to maybe test some new ideas out on them. It's basically what the XFL used the spring league for. Hey, we got some new rules we want to test out. We're going to test them out on this spring league thing, which, by the way, they've come a long way as well. They got the Fox contract on FS1 and FS2. There's some quality games going on over there, but they've also been together longer, because they're running almost year round.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like now the XFL has a little bit of NFL swag to it, and the USFL, which is starting now in April, has got nothing. I mean, they got their contracts. They got everything that these former spring leagues, the Alliance of American Football, the XFL 2.0, they got all these other things. They got the network contracts and all that stuff. But none of these spring leagues have really had the branding for the NFL. And the ones that have lasted a while. Didn't say they lasted forever, but they've lasted a while. Now it's time to see what happens this year. How does the USFL go ahead and stack up? They already had their draft. A few people that have made some names over the years as, legendary spring players like Shea Patterson, Jordan Ta'amu. Those, two quarterbacks right there, definitely going to be looking out for. Jordan Ta'amu was a star in the XFL last year, or 2 years ago. And Shea Patterson is actually coming out as one of the head honchos at quarterback for the USFL this year. So, again, people that you may not have heard of, doesn't mean it's going to be bad football. Doesn't mean it's going to be piss poor football. It just means, hey, these players may have something to prove.
But let me.
Go ahead.
I just think I think the USFL is just bad. It's bad branding, like everything starting out. And I say this for the simple fact of the matter: where was the draft? Like, what channel? What was it on YouTube? Like, you had to really have to search.
It was underground. They held it in the basement in Denver, I think.
Like, you had to really, really search for it, to look for it, to understand the process of it.
Yeah,
I think that those are the things that we picked up. I talked about last Sunday. Like, you have to be out there. You have to be loud. I don't want the USFL. Should have been kind of like the XFL. They took 2 years off, and they rebranding and they're planning. Hey, here's the goals. Here's this. Now, like you said, we was in the conversations with the NFL. Now, you can have it to a certain degree to where the NFL can like you said, can have a minorship of, say, the Dallas Cowboys. It'd be like when they had arena. It was the Dallas Desperados, which they practiced at the Cowboy Stadium and everything else.
Yep.
You have that combined, which by doing that gets the casual fan liking it because it's affiliated of Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it basically there shows that there was there was DNA from the Cowboys into the Desperados, but you don't have that here though. You don't have that. You never had that really in any spring league. Arena football was because it was cheap to own a team. So that's where you had you had Billy Joel owning one of them. You had Ron Jaworski joining John Elway did the Denver franchise. So you had a lot of people who were names already woven into the into the fabric of that community coming out and buying teams. This is different. This is different. What the USFL did was the same exact thing the XFL did for their draft. Round 1, quarterbacks. Round 2, edge rushers, defensive ends. Round 3, everything. There was certain rounds you could pick certain people. So it was just 1 round per position, or wide receivers. I think it was like round 14 through 18 was receivers only.
Where was it shown at?
It wasn't. It wasn't. Neither was the XFL's one, too. It wasn't shown. It wasn't shown. It was broadcast on social media, and they think that's all it takes. And listen, I'm not saying that's going to be the end-all, be-all for the USFL. I'm thinking, listen, who really cares about the draft, really? Because you're going to spout out a few 500 names, which most of us don't even know who the hell they are, where the hell they came from. They'll go ahead and give a description. Yeah, we got Jonesy Bonesy here. He played from Appalachian State for 2 years before going overseas and playing in the European Football League. Then the Australia. It's like we don't know these people. They're trying to make a name for themselves. So having that on, having the USFL draft on TV makes about as much sense as putting grass growing on TV. Because it just doesn't matter. You get the results. Here's what happened. Here's who's your team now on social media, on the USFL website. That's fine. I don't think you need to put the draft on.
No, not on TV, not on TV, but just kind of have it out like a broadcast, like, hey, we're coming. Hey, let it be known, like the season's almost here or something. Yep. That's my biggest thing.
They have ads going on. They have ads going on for the USFL. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. They have it going on. I mean, I'm not saying they're flooding the advertising world, but it is being known. I mean, I've seen 2-3 ads a day advertising the USFL on their networks. So they got the branding. They got the CBS. They got the Fox. So they got the major networks there ready to go ahead and broadcast. The thing is, the XFL had that before. The Alliance of American Football had that before. What happened to them? They never finished their season.
But I think XFL
would have done well if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was just the luck of the draw. That's one of those things like, oh.
That's why I kind of like, damn it, Vince. Well, just hold on to it. Just don't sell it. Hold on to it because it was working. It was working. There were fans being drawn into the stands. Ratings were pretty good. As a matter of fact, I think they were climbing. It was good. It really was. And I think, did you hear about any of these players before the XFL? No. You may have heard of 1 or 2. That's it. And that's the same thing we got with the USFL. The USFL can make this work. However, it's already starting from behind because already the NFL is back in the XFL, who doesn't even start playing until next year.
Yes, because you got The Rock.
You got The Rock. That's right. Who's the USFL owned by? I don't even know who they're owned by.
Listen, man, this is one thing I can say. We can say what we want. Whatever The Rock touch turns to gold.
Oh, listen, go watch out about that. How we say about that.
Because look, Fast and the Furious, he rebooted. Like he's the reboot guy in the movies. He got the TV show. I mean, he has a lot going on.
So here, this is who owns the USFL. It is a company called National Spring Football League Enterprises Corp. LLC, a.k.a. Fox Sports.
Oh.
Yes. Fox Sports owns the USFL. President is Brian Woods, who you don't really care about. And see, one of the things I have a problem with this year for them is they're playing all their games in one area where everybody else has opened up the floodgates. Stadiums are allowing 100% capacity everywhere. Masks are being taken back. CDC just said, listen, we don't have to really wear masks indoors anymore unless in certain circumstances. What's the problem with getting down here at Raymond James Stadium and getting the Tampa Bay Bandits? What's the problem? What's the problem going ahead and going to Michigan and getting the Michigan Panthers up and running at Ford Field or a soccer style stadium? I mean, what's holding? I don't understand why they chose to do this. I will say this though, is they're actually having the championship game in playoffs in Ohio, which is kind of cool. They're at the Hall of Fame.
It's just money.
Yeah. Well, see, don't you think
you know what would have been cool? Like, this is what really would have been cool if I don't know how many weeks the USFL is, but each week, 10 weeks. So each week you go to a new stadium.
Each week, like, you go to a new bubble. I would dig that.
Because then you go cool. Say you have it at Raymond James Stadium. Because basically right now there's nothing going on in Tampa. So you pretty much use the practice facilities of Tampa, or whatever, and so people can come out and watch.
It would be like a wrestling tour. It's like, hey, this week we're over here in Birmingham. Next week we're going to be in Jersey. Come on and see us in LA, whatever.
So you get to see all the teams. So you watch. So then now you have like just games throughout the whole time.
Yep.
I don't know how they do it. They do what? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. So the people that's in Tampa, like you say, hey, I can take my kid to a football game,
right,
and get up close. Hey, this is there because you could say, hey, these are professionals. All right, and then they go from Tampa to Alabama to Dallas, or you start like in California and work your way to Canton because it's Canton, Ohio. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that would be awesome having like a tour. Bring this, if you're not going to go ahead and have open air stadiums and everybody else have their own home stadium because it's too expensive, make a deal with you have to have, so it would be, I'd say 1 week in each of the selected cities, Birmingham, Houston, Michigan, wherever they're going to play, Jersey, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New Orleans. So you have 8 weeks right there. Then like 2 alternate weeks. Hell, go to Europe or something like that, or Mexico City or Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have that bubble. I like that idea. Now you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna message The Rock and say, hey, listen, we need a tour.
Because if you do it like that, because then now it opens up even. So say if you come to Texas, because I don't really know how big football is in Texas, and you open up.
Oh yeah. You don't know how big football is in Texas, right? Okay.
Hey,
They could fit 4 professional teams in there and still be a want.
Yes. And then if you do it, especially around this time where like high school football is done, college football is done, you can actually have coaches come and watch the practices and have conversations. Like that's how you can generate money and buzz. Or you can have even high school kids come and talk and see it. You know what I mean? Now you're getting you're getting that connection because now it's a personal connection because I know this guy because we had conversations. So now I'm watching him play. I want to watch him perform. Now I'm cheering for him. Now I'm on his Instagram or now I'm on his Facebook. I mean, those are the things that you have to get. You have to find a connection. And just playing in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just you're just in that one little bubble. I think, like I said, I thought that would have been cool.
I honestly think Alabama was not the greatest spot. If you're going to go ahead, be something, I would say definitely have it in Texas. You imagine how many stadiums you could go ahead in the Texas area and allow 100% capacity, even though you're probably not going to get it. But you go ahead and go into these stadiums. I mean, get into NRG Stadium, close off the top and everything like that. Just have the logo ready. Go into the Dynamo, the Houston Dynamo soccer field. Do that. That's like 20,000 right there. You do that. And I mean, there's like 3 or 4 other stadiums that you could have had, different. But I think Alabama, I don't know what the deal with Alabama was or what the fascination was, but and the other thing too, I'm over here taking a look at the website right now, the USFL, the USFL.com, and I'm taking a look at it. There is no place to click on to view my team, to view my roster, who my head coach is, what the schedule is. Nada. That is a major problem. by this time, I'm telling you, XFL already had a schedule. They had their players. They had their combine. Screw drafting. They had a combine. You believe that? So it's really a problem. But listen, with all that negative, they can still turn this around. They can. I don't even know what their innovations are. What are their rules? Are they just going to play regular rules, NFL rules? I mean, are they going to kick an extra point from the 2-yard line, the 15-yard line? Is there going to be any PATs? We're going to have to run plays for a 2-point conversion? I mean, what are the rules?
I don't think they know the rules.
That's the issue. That's the issue. So listen, it's happening. USFL April 16th is the inaugural game, which apparently they know of. They know the inaugural game, which is going to be between the New Jersey Generals and the Baltimore Stallions. I mean the Birmingham Stallions, excuse me. And again, I want to see the rosters. I can't find them. I mean, I know about the draft, I know that, but unfortunately, just it doesn't look very, very good. But got to give it a chance. So 38 teams or 38 players were drafted per team. There's a 7-player practice squad. It's almost like they're going like you have one position with a starter and one, maybe like for middle linebacker, you may have just one backup for all linebackers. Right outside, left outside, middle, you have one backup. You may have 1 or 2 backups for your cornerbacks, 1 or 2 backups for your receivers, one backup for your, obviously one back for a quarterback, 1 or 2 backups for your linemen. There ain't that much wiggle room. You got 22 players that play offensive defense. And then what's left after that? 16 players? You got to be strategic on that. Having a small group like that, Coach, what are your priorities for injuries, for substitutions? Who do you focus on most? What positions would you focus on most to go ahead and make sure you have a quality backup?
Linemen. I think linemen, D-line is the most important thing. I mean, that's the cornerstone because you need linemen to protect the quarterback. You need linemen to make at least, because within doubt, you want to be able to run the football. You got to have to run the football. If you don't have a good quarterback, you got to be able to run the football. And then D-line has to put the pressure to make you do stuff that you can't do. So I think those are the things. It's pretty much, if you look at it, all these guys are not tripping about. They're kind of happy that it's a 36 because now you're just getting film. That's one of the most important. Like your focus is, okay, I'm getting film. I'm getting film on special teams. I'm getting film, excuse me, at a position that I'm playing. So now when the NFL, which is gonna watch, they can say, I like this guy. Yeah. Well, at least we know he can do kickoff. At least we know he can do kickoff return. At least he know he'll do punt because he's out there. Usually in not high school, but in NFL, your best players only play. They play their position. They don't really play on special teams as much. You might see a punt returner, or you might see maybe a kickoff returner. But other than that, your starters, they just play offense or they just play defense.
Yep. So a lot of the draft day, like I said, the one big quarterback that is out there, and again, this is big for spring league, is Shea Patterson, and he went to Michigan. Jordan Tiemu, who's a big star in the XFL when it was played a couple of years ago, he went to Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay's got a pretty decent quarterback, considering the spring league. Michigan has gotten a pretty good quarterback in regards to it. And, you take a look there, and there, like I said, there are other teams. There's actually teams that actually didn't even go through all 35 picks because they actually passed on some. So there's still open slots on some of these players or some of these positions. So, but like you had mentioned, running the ball is going to be huge. It is just going to come down to fundamentals. Getting back to fundamentals, because this is the reason why these players are in this league, is because something went down. They weren't noticed. They weren't, they weren't at that level. There was one player that I did see here who did crack the starting role at one point in time for the Patriots, Obi Melifonwu. He actually went in the 18th round to the Tampa Bay Bandits. He's a safety. So he actually made the cut with the Patriots at one point in time, but then apparently fell. And you know how Bill just puts everybody in the doghouse. If you screw up one time, you're pretty much done.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Jonah, whoever the hell his name is, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns against the Colts. Never hear from the bastard again. So it's just that's how it goes. But again, even with all the negative going on, with the lack of coverage, the lack of reporting going on, USFL ain't done. They're not done. Let's wait till April, see what's going on. But everything is down. They got their quarterbacks. They got their tackles. There's a few spots on there. Receivers. We had Jonathan Adams, Taywan Taylor, Chad Williams. Anybody know these guys? No. Jawan Moore, Darius Shepard, Christopher Platt Jr. Anybody know him? No. But you know what? They may make some OBJ catches out there. They may make some crazy Julian Edelman bounce, tip passes that are like this close to the ground. Catch, never know what's going on. And that's why they play the games.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. We'll see. I just hope, because one thing about it, when you see terrible football, one reason why you see terrible football, you see people just not in shape, and injuries start to happen. I mean, that's going to be the question from, I don't know, have they been having like tryouts and everything else and workouts? So from now that you're on the team, hopefully you're working out, you're getting an understanding, you're getting in shape.
Getting with the coach, getting the playbook down, getting practice.
It's not a rush.
Yeah.
Because when that's the issue. You say April, does not let it be a rush. Put a great product, especially on day one.
Yes.
And we don't want to look and you see it's sloppy football where you can say, oh, they haven't been practicing. You can kind of tell like they haven't been doing anything together. Because it's like the preseason. You know how it is. Preseason. It's like, ooh, gosh. So that I hope for. Now, I know XFL is next year. I'm very, very intrigued on what they do, because now you're partners with NFL and you go through all the issues that the NFL have.
See, the one thing that I read is with the contracts that the USFL were giving out, they said it was going to make it really hard for the XFL to get players, and I don't see that happening. I see the NFL they're back in the XFL. So if there are any like borderline people that are going to start, or even if they bring that rule back, borderline college players that may want to up their draft probability, or maybe, they may not be draft appropriate. They may want to come out and play for a little bit. This is where it's going to be, because the NFL is going to be watching. They're already in bed with the XFL. So, and they haven't even started yet.
Yeah. Because
it's The Rock. He went ahead and electrified the NFL.
Yeah. And I think, and that's the thing. And if The Rock does it right, you're talking about,
you'll smack that USFL candy ass all over.
Yes, because you can really, and here's the thing. If XFL and NFL partner together like they are, and they're doing rules and everything else, now you can get to a point to where it's a mentorship. So like you have these receiver coaches or your African American coaches that want to be OCs, they can come over here and be an OC and call plays and be known and be notable and be creative. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that you could do. You could turn that into a mentorship where you can have coaches that want to be head coaches, that have the opportunity and ability to run a team and say, hey, look what we're doing. Look what I've done. Because then now you eliminate that excuse. Well, they don't know what they're doing, or or this, that. And then, like I said, now you have players that that's gonna go there because the simple fact of the matter, it don't even have to be the money. You just know I got NFL under my name.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal. The goal is to play NFL football.
So what about for the USFL, Jeff Fisher? Now, is Jeff Fisher basically just not coaching because he wants to, or just nobody wants to hire him? And if
Nobody wants to hire him.
If it's the second one, what would this do if he had a successful run in the USFL? Would it do anything to his stock? Would some people want to go ahead and hire him? No,
because he's terrible on the offensive side. I mean, look, he was with the Rams. Like,
would he be accepting like of a DC position, a defensive coordinator position? Do you think he would?
That's one of the things. The NFL game has changed so much, and you have your Andy Reeds, you have your Bills that kind of adapted, and they changed with it.
Yep.
I think Fisher's still stuck in the 90s, 2000s. That same old just pounding ground. You can't do like that no more.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta
innovate.
You gotta change, because if you don't, and that's what happens. If you don't change with it, you're out.
Oh, that's it. Michigan Panthers, you're screwed because that's your head coach. You may not like what's happening. I mean, you got the top quarterback in the spring for the league, but I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see.
But you look at it, you take a Kevin Sutherland that's more college. Now he's kind of doing professional. That might give him an opportunity to open him up or some stuff. Because he's at least coached recently. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you the last time I seen Jeff Fisher on the sideline coaching.
No, I was going to turn to another coach real quick but Jeff Fisher was he was last as the head coach of the St. Louis Rams in 2016. Then he went to Tennessee State and as advisor last year. So he's been out of work for about 6 years in a head coaching role. So that's Jeff Fisher. But another one I wanted to talk to was Todd Haley. He was he's actually been as most recently as an OC for the Cleveland Browns. Hasn't seen work in the professional ranks. He went to Riverview High School in Florida down here as an offensive coordinator last couple of years, and now he's the head coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits. What would anybody like to see him come back? He was an OC.
I think this is his chance, because at least he's more like, with him, he's more recent compared to Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
So, and then I think Todd Haley,
and he's just offensive minded too.
Yes, I think with Todd Haley kind of got screwed over the whole Cleveland Browns. What's the HBO show? Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Yeah.
He listened to how he was talking, like, I don't like this guy.
They really got to get rid of that show. I mean, it's just too much Big Brother going in there. It really is. It's too much. Too much people are knowing too many secrets going on. It's opening up the underbelly of if you're going to do that type of show, you need to do it for all 32 teams. Because if you do it for one team, that's giving you a disadvantage. That's putting you under the radar. That's, and the Indianapolis Colts did that, and they did it throughout the year too. It wasn't just like, preseason and training camp and stuff like that, no, like it usually is. No, they did it throughout the whole 17 game season.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You imagine that much pressure, that much distraction. Hey, HBO is here. We need you for an interview. But coach, I got to practice. No, screw that. Go do the interview with HBO. It's like, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. But Todd Haley, Tampa Bay Bandits head coach, he has that second quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, who again was a star in the XFL a couple years ago. And this is only going to be his second head coaching stint. He was the head coach at Kansas City Chiefs from 2009 to 2011. So he's been out of the head coaching ranks for about 11 years. Now at Tampa Bay, with a 38-man squad, spring league, people you have, again, practice squad players playing for you now in the starting roles. How do you see Todd Haley picking this up? I mean, again, hasn't head coached in over 10 years.
Well, we're gonna see. But he has an advantage though to a lot because basically he hasn't been coaching, but I mean he hasn't been a head coach, but he was the OC at the high school. And if you really look at it, 10-game season, it's just like a high school season.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now you look at what 30, what would you say, 40 kids? You say 40 people. It's a high school team. I mean, you got a lot of schools have 40 varsity players, so you kind of he's familiar with it. So that's the one advantage that he does have over a lot of them. It's just he know how to manage smaller groups. Because that's probably how his practice is gonna be. It's gonna be just treated just like high school.
Yeah. I mean, just hopefully there's no high school playing going on. Listen. You go ahead and play. We'll practice like a high school team, but here's the thing, though. It's like we actually have to put on a good game.
Yes.
So it's not going to be a whole bunch of options or a whole bunch of quarterback draws or a whole bunch of fullback handoffs inside the line. No, we got to throw the ball. He's an offensive coordinator. We got to throw the ball. We got to take some deep shots. We're going to have to make it a wide open game. And that's what people are going to look for when they're sitting down watching Fox or CBS today on Friday or Saturday, whatever the hell the games are, whenever the hell the games are. They're looking at, hey, how exciting is this game going to be? How wide open is it going to be? And that was the problem with the AAF, the Alliance. There was just a boring football. I mean, when you hand the ball off, you're lucky if you got back to the line of scrimmage. It was like, this is boring. This is boring as hell. XFL, I don't know what they did, but there was real blocking. There was real running. There was good passing. I mean, everything just clicked with that league. It really did. So, I mean, now you see the garbage the AAF put out versus the quality the XFL put out. Does the USFL learn from this? I don't know. We're going to find out. Like I said, in mid-April, that's when the first game starts. And we'll have that. We'll go over that game. I'm definitely going to be watching. I don't know about you, Coach, but I'm going to definitely watch. I'm very intrigued to see.
No, I'm curious.
And by the way, I apologize. It's Fox and NBC, not CBS. Fox and NBC are doing that. Birmingham and New Jersey, first game, April 16th. And I think that's like 7:30 p.m. or something like that. So, again, they don't even have the times for that thing. So it's like, really? Come on now. Let's get the schedule together. All right. Wash our hands of the USFL, XFL talk and everything like that. Let's go over. And you know what? I'm actually very proud of us. We did 37 minutes on that.
Hey,
I'm very proud of that. The show can be almost half over. So let's go ahead and talk free agents. Free agents that are still out there. Free agents that we think they should go to particular teams. The top ones. We're going to start off with the quarterbacks. Believe it or not, according to ProFootballNetwork.com, Jameis Winston is the top available free agent quarterback. Rumors are Jameis is staying in New Orleans. I don't know how. I think they're going to work. I think he may be working for Jambalaya. I have no idea because that's what it seems like they have right now is Jambalaya. Number 2, Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. Does Denver stick with him? They move on. Marcus Mariota, back up at the Vegas Raiders. Does he get another shot at maybe starting or maybe back up somebody else? Tyrod Taylor of Houston showed some flashes, but they're already going with David Mills. That's already been established. And Cam Newton of Carolina. Newton out there again. I mean, did he do anything with Carolina to warrant him going to another team? Out of those 5 quarterbacks, those are just the top 5. Do you see any of them making an impact next year?
Yes, Jameis Winston. He has the big arm. He showed it. He showed it when he was with Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And you could show when he was with New Orleans that he kind of made smart decisions because he wasn't just chunking it everywhere. He wasn't just he took the check down. He took what you gave him.
Okay.
He probably missed the big shot sometimes. He didn't risk it. So I think he's the best one because he has the stronger arm. He's more vocal as a leader. No matter how you want to say it, he's going to give you a chance. When now you flip it, you can say, Teddy, man, you know what I call Teddy. Teddy check down. He's not going to risk it. He's going to look and he's going to say, I could throw it to him, but let me throw it to this guy. He's right there. I mean, it's just, he is what he is. It's Teddy check down.
He's the guy that's not going to turn the ball over. Which don't you would give that now? Again, yes, Winston did make smarter decisions in New Orleans. He did make, he didn't throw all the ball all over the place, but also his sample size was kind of small due to his injury. But would you say Teddy may be more of a person you'd want managing the team versus Jameis Winston?
No.
Still, no.
James.
Okay.
Because you need to take chances.
You don't think Teddy takes any chance? I mean, he may not take as many chances, but also he doesn't turn the ball over as much.
Charles, everybody talks about that receiver core in Denver. It's a good receiving core. You have a good tight end, and you have two good running backs that did their thing. But you couldn't put up points.
Okay.
One I will say it was the offensive coordinator was terrible.
That's what I was about ready to ask. Do you think it's the system that he was in?
That I agree with you, but you looked at it when he was with Carolina. He put good numbers up. But they couldn't win games.
So it's like if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hey, listen, we're putting good numbers up. I'm giving these guys the yardage. We're moving the ball up and down the field, but what the hell? I mean, was it the defense that couldn't hold their end of the bar?
But you have to realize, though, even when he was with New Orleans, like they didn't try to keep him.
Yeah, they kind of let him go pretty quickly.
They just said, "Okay, thank you."
But maybe they thought they had something with Hill. That's what I'm thinking.
No, they saw the writing on the wall with Drew Brees. It's like, okay, again, I like Terry. I mean, he was even with Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota didn't take a chance either. Even though I thought he'd be a hell of a better option than Kirk Cousins.
But he don't take with that receiver core that you had. You still remember you had Thielen and Diggs.
Yeah.
You went from Thielen. You still went from Thielen to Jefferson, but it was one of those things where it was like, all right, Teddy, go do you. I mean, it's like
how of an injustice. And I hate to bounce around. How of an injustice is it? You have that type of quality core in Minnesota, and Kirk Cousins is throwing the ball. How big of an injustice is that?
But you can say that for a lot of teams. You can say that for at least 20, 25 teams. That is quarterback.
There's not 20, 25 teams that have that type of receiving core nucleus.
I'm saying for quarterbacks though.
Yeah, well, listen, Brady went ahead and ignited a Tampa Bay franchise that needed that quarterback kick. And that proved it right there. That was an all-star team just waiting to explode. They need the right person behind the center.
Yes. I mean, and you can say the same thing for Kansas City.
And Los Angeles, too. Even though Los Angeles put together some pieces during the season, but still. But they were pretty explosive.
I mean, the NFL, we all said, no, the NFL is a quarterback driven. Hence the fact, look at the pay. Look how much money they make as a quarterback. So, by that being said, regardless of the situation, Teddy has been in great situations. You was in Minnesota, they didn't keep you. You was in New Orleans, they didn't keep you. Shoot, you was in Carolina, you had 2,000 yard receivers, and they didn't keep you. Like it's not like that you was with the bottom of the barrel of receiver cores. Like you've had great receiving cores, and then you go to Denver, you had a young receiving core. So and you're still talking about free agent. They're not going to keep you. So I mean, because think about it. What receiving core that sucked? You want to say maybe the Saints was the worst one with Michael Thomas now?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you really have to dig down to see like, okay, which one really sucked that much? Detroit. Let's go ahead and just name it. Detroit. Can you go ahead and they were the worst franchise in football. Maybe even Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I think maybe had one or two playmakers, but that's it.
Yeah.
So, any of the other quarterbacks you think that are out there now? Of course, we didn't mention everybody because I think it kind of drops off the bucket list. Ryan Fitzpatrick, though, has been rumored. I don't know how true this is. He's been rumored to go to the Bucs. I don't know how true that is. That would make his 30th team that he's played for in his career.
That's a smart journeyman. He finds a way. He
finds a way to stay relevant. He gets paid a little, but he finds a way.
I want to know who his agent is because his agent is phenomenal. Everybody needs to be his. You need to get with him because that agent is gonna get you. He'll get you a job.
Oh yeah.
He gonna,
It may not be the most lucrative, but he'll get you a job.
He'll get you a job, man. I get you. Look, you make you about $5-10 million. Hey.
Some of the other names that are out there: Andy Dalton, Mitchell Trubisky, Joe Flacco, Chad Henne, Mike Glennon, Travis Cinnamon. Any of these names ring a bell to think that they may have a resurgence, or maybe they just should be best off going to the XFL next year?
Probably so. I think Mitch. Crazy thing about it is, I think Mitch might go to the Giants.
Oh yeah,
because Diebold is familiar with him and have an understanding. I think.
But is he starting quarterback or backup?
Competition.
Yeah.
Because what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose with Mitch?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You don't have anything to lose. I think the familiar him knowing the OC and having an understanding. I think that'd be a great place for him to go. Because then if I was Mitch, I'd go there anyway. Because guess what? What's the name is not set in stone to be the starter, and he's injury prone. So you have a chance to at least get some kind of film work.
Yeah, absolutely. You get in there and maybe play a couple of games in the preseason, maybe just outwork the kid, and there you go. Starting job is right there. I mean, it's there up for grabs, like you said. You just want that chance.
Yeah, but the rest of them, I mean, I think a lot of teams, because they're not. You hear it on TV, and you hear us talk about it. Like you got your Jimmy Garoppolo, you got your Aaron Rodgers, you got your Russell Wilson. Like you hear it, you can put Deshaun Watson. Like you hearing things of people trying to make trades for these guys.
Yeah, but see, the thing is though, for a trade, you have to give up something. This is just like, hey, listen, come on in, let's interview you. You want a contract? Yeah, sign it. Yeah. There's no negotiation. You don't have to give up picks. You don't have to give up players. Yeah, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy G. Yeah, these are all going to be top dogs that are going to be coming out that are going to want a home. And I think the consensus with the Touchdown Crew is we all think Aaron Rodgers is staying because that's Green Bay's best option. Russell Wilson, I've heard that they're not really shopping around anymore. Jimmy G, though, he's actually working with John Lynch to say, hey, who are my options here? Come on, man. Go ahead and make some calls. John Lynch is over there making calls like saying, I got you, Jimmy. I'm going to get you in the best. You know what? Let me go ahead and hook you up with Denver because John Lynch used to play for Denver. Okay, maybe have a little hookup there. Maybe get a sweet deal for Jimmy G. And there you go. There's your quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's John Lynch, the Denver connection, maybe. John Lynch and the Tampa Bay connection. I don't know.
He's not.
You don't see.
He's not going to bring.
How would you go? How would this sound? Tom Brady, and then what was Tom Brady's successor, back to back in Tampa Bay?
No,
Coach ain't having it.
Hey man, Jimmy's a winner, but Jimmy can't throw the football.
No, and you need somebody to throw the football in this nucleus. Otherwise, you're gonna have a whole bunch of people really pissed off at you. Speaking of people that throw the football, let's go to receivers. Top receivers, according again to ProFootballNetwork.com. Davante Adams, right there, number one. Chris Godwin, Mike Williams of the Chargers, Odell Beckham Jr. coming off the Super Bowl win, and congratulations, Odell, you just had a baby. Congratulations, you're a daddy. Michael Gallup from Dallas, Allen Robinson, Christian Kirk, Juju Smith-Schuster, DJ Chalk, and Emmanuel Sanders round up the top 10. Jacoby Myers is right there, number 11. I'm actually surprised he's actually that high, but he has proven to be a good receiver in the New England area. There's a lot of good names out there. There really are. A lot of good names, a lot of people looking for homes. You see Davante going from Green Bay, going somewhere else?
No.
You see Godwin going from Tampa?
No.
Do you see Mike Williams leaving L.A.?
See, that was the real confused one. I'm surprised they hadn't wrapped him up in a contract by now.
Oh, I'll talk to you about another person that I'm surprised they haven't done a whole lot of talking with, J.C. Jackson, but that's in the cornerbacks. We'll get to that later.
So
Mike Williams still out there. You think that's a little bit of a shock to you that the Chargers haven't done anything yet?
Because he had a great season.
Oh yeah,
he had a great season. So I'm very he's the curious one because.
And Justin Herbert, he's a young quarterback. He still needs stars around him. He still needs the number one.
Because now having Mike Williams in the free agent, now you're talking about. I can see Mike Williams just to name 2 teams: Patriots, Ravens. What? I'm just saying.
I was smiling at one of them, not smiling at the other one.
I'm just going.
I think Mike Williams is going to command too much. I don't know if he's going to fit the mold that Belichick has. See, the problem with the Patriots is there's no OC.
That is true.
There's no OC right now. There is a nucleus of a former defensive coordinator and a loser for a head coach. There's 2 people there that are going to call plays. Are you kidding me?
Who's calling plays?
Well, according right now, it would be what the hell? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Matt Patricia, who used to be the defensive coordinator.
He's the OC now?
No, he's not. No, they haven't designated an OC.
Oh,
and Joe Judge.
Joe Judge is back?
I believe so. Let me.
What is he coaching?
Wait. I think I know the Patriots just signed somebody, and I just gotta hang on a second. Don't go anywhere.
So Patricia's going back to DC?
No, he's not going back to. That's the thing. They signed him. They got him back, and he's still. Yeah, he's not the DC there. That's the thing. Where the hell are the coaches? Come on, coaches. Oh, they don't even list them. But anyway, it's like they don't have an OC. So it's like if the Patriots, here we go. If the Patriots wanted to go ahead and pick somebody up, they need somebody. Yeah, offensive coordinator vacant, quarterbacks coach vacant. Matt Patricia's there. Yeah, Joe Judge, offensive assistant, is with the Patriots. No O-line coach, no quarterbacks coach, no offensive coordinator. Offensive assistant, Joe Judge. Matt Patricia is listed right now as a senior football advisor. What the hell what does that pay? I don't know. It doesn't sound great, though. It sounds like Matt Patricia had 0 options since leaving Detroit. But again, going back to the receivers, yeah, you need somebody that actually has their stuff together.
Here's the fact. That's why I said Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore could have it. But LA, I think they need to go ahead and they need, like, I agree. I think they need to wrap him up. OBJ, not even a 1 year in LA. He has a ring. I mean, does he stay with LA and run it back, or does he go somewhere else? Where would he go?
I don't know, because he got hurt. He got hurt in February.
Yeah,
that's one of those things that he probably won't be back till December. And I'm just guessing. So if I was him, I probably would I'll just stay in LA.
Yeah, maybe just go ahead and kind of sit it out.
I'll stay in LA, just keep working, and then come in December, kind of like what he did this year. You showed up in December and January and February.
So you need.
That's where he made his money. Because remember, everybody was saying, "Oh, well, he's this and then this and this." I mean, he got you a ring. So if I was him, that's why I'd probably stay there. Or no, I'll stay there.
As I say, you go back to the Browns?
No, God, no. If you go, you can say Kansas City.
Oh, God. He would have a field day over there. But you know what? The same thing. Josh Gordon went there. You'd think he would have resurrected his career there. No. Josh is done. Right? Yeah. Well, now that's imminent.
Yeah, because that was what
he's had. What, 5 chances, 6 chances?
Yeah, Josh is. Yeah, it's. I hate it for anybody, man. I know you got your demons and everything else, but I think now it took a toll on his body.
Yeah,
he's just huge now.
So. Michael Gallup from the Cowboys. You think they wrap him up or run it back with the Cowboys, or does he find home somewhere else?
And that was a good one too. That because he heard it. I think he tore his ACL also on a touchdown catch. It was a nice catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for him, it's kind of one of those things. Do you want to go back to the Cowboys? Or do you want to take a deal somewhere else?
And would you get a deal? That's the thing, too.
He gets something because he's a vertical threat.
Hey, is he still a vertical threat?
Oh, yes. One thing, like doctors nowadays, man, that leg is 20 times stronger.
Yeah, Gallup's up to torn ACL on a touchdown on week 17. He was placed on injured reserve several days later. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. Torn ACL. I mean, again, not to say that he can't recover from it, but yeah, I mean, that's something that you need your legs, man. You need your legs for that type of thing, especially if you want to be a deep threat. Yeah, you need to keep that speed. I mean, he didn't have shocking speed or anything. He was a 4.51 when he did before the draft.
I would say this:
but he's still young. He's only played 4 years. He's still young.
Yeah, If I was Jacksonville, I would shoot him a number. And I say, hey, what Dallas have? We not only will match it, but we add $3 more million in it, and get them for like
money.
Huh?
They got the money.
Yeah, and then you can get it a cheaper deal. You can get a first year. Say, hey, you can say I give you a 3-year deal or a 2-year deal.
Just make everything guaranteed, and you know how that works. Get that quote unquote guaranteed word in there, and put a number that's basically about the same number as the whole contract is worth, and just put it's signed.
Yeah, and I think, and I truly believe that's where Jacksonville messed up, because you could have got Brian Leftwich, you could have a great opportunity to get Chris Godwin.
They still can get Chris Godwin.
He's not going to go there, dog. He's not going there, Charles.
I'm not saying he is or isn't. I'm just saying he hasn't been tied up yet. Franchise tags are what going through till the 5th?
Yeah,
March 5th. Where's the tag? Where's
the
contract?
They're probably talking to him, because a lot of the guys, because I kind of noticed, especially on the defensive end, they drafted a lot of guys. Tampa Bay did defensively, so they're gonna release a lot of defense, but they're gonna keep Godwin. Godwin's homegrown, but you can say, but you can go back to, I think, Allen Robinson that was with Chicago. He might go back to Jacksonville to say, hey, that's where I made my money. That's where I did my thing at.
But Allen's not a spring chicken. He's going now. He'd go back to Jacksonville for a second-year quarterback and a locker room that still is waiting to be united. Now, whether they're united or not with this new the new head coach, we don't know. But would you want to go to that situation?
It depends.
They handled Urban Meyer poorly, very poorly. Urban Meyer handled that situation poorly. It was a complete CF on everything. And you know what I'm talking about when I say CF? It was a huge mess in Jacksonville. Does anybody find that place attractive?
Money talks.
Your silence speaks volumes, man.
No, money talks. No, because if you also
money doesn't always talk. Rings talk too, my friend.
No.
Yes, they. Okay, hold on a second. Wait. If you tell me, listen, I got 2 offers on the table. Hear me out. I got 2 offers on the table. I got one going to LA, and then I got another one more lucrative going to Jacksonville. The Jacksonville one's guaranteed. The LA one, I got a signing, but I got a 20%, 30% signing bonus, but I'm going to be playing with some big dogs on this end. I'm over here with a kid who basically needs to get a haircut.
You ready?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You got to take Jacksonville just to spite me, aren't you?
No.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's where you are in your age and your career. Because one thing about it is, even though you take the little money in LA, that LA games will be seen. You'll be seen on TV 20 times more than you will a Jacksonville game. Matter of fact, the only time I've seen a Jacksonville game in Texas, was the preseason, when they showed the games on the preseason. That's the only time I've seen a Jacksonville game, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So in that situation, I agree with you, but you have to realize, you take Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wants to be the highest paid quarterback. So by him wanting to be the highest paid quarterback, he don't care about no rings. He's trying to get his money. I think
because he has a ring, but the thing is like if he takes his money, I don't think he's motivated anymore. I really don't. I think he's there. He'll go ahead and be Aaron Rodgers-esque, but that fire ain't there no more. If you're going to go ahead and take the money and not go where it's best for your career, first off, number one, you've been in the league, what, 12, 13, 14 years?
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me you need money? Listen, at this point in time, it's like, I want to close out my career with a bang. Give me the best opportunity to close my career with a bang. That's what Tom Brady did. Now, Tom Brady never got paid until he went to Tampa, but Tom Brady wanted to close his career out with a bang with a good team. He did. Now, Aaron Rodgers needs to think of that same thing, because if you're good about the money, now why? Why are you shaking your head for it? If you offered money or ring, what should you take?
That's the thing. You know the money's guaranteed. The ring's not.
No, it's not. But
ain't no buts. Ain't no buts. Because right now, let's stop. Right now, Charles. Super Bowl next year. Right now. Who's your teams? Name them.
Oh, I have no idea. I have not even gone there. This is way too early.
I know, but listen to me. But listen to what I'm saying. You know for a fact.
Patriots and Bucks with Tom Brady coming back.
But Kansas City. You know Kansas City is going to be good. You know the 49ers is going to be good. You know the Rams are
going to be good. I'm not sold on the Niners yet. I'm not sold on them yet. Okay. So I'm not saying that.
That's fine. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Rams.
Yes.
For sure. Those are probably the top two teams in betting right now that make it back to the Super Bowl. If you want to say Cincy, you can throw Cincy in there.
And again, Cincy has a lot to do with their offensive line, so I'm not even sold on them yet.
But you see what I'm saying? So a lot of it is we're playing a guessing game because no one had Cincy to make it to the Super Bowl.
No, nobody had him whatsoever.
But guess what? You know what you do? You know what guarantee you do have? That money. That meal. That's because at the end of the day, if you don't, I mean, it's a one shot at me that you can win the Super Bowl.
So here are the way too early predictions for Super Bowl 57. This is the odds to win it all. Right now, according to The Athletic, Kansas City, Buffalo, Rams, Bengals, Cowboys, Broncos, Packers. I'll send you the link. Broncos, Packers, Niners, Ravens, Cardinals, Titans, and I'm going to end it with the Patriots above Tampa.
Man, the Patriots.
Again, that's the way too early stuff. But Buffalo and KC, I definitely believe in the AFC. I definitely believe that. They have been together the longest. They've gotten their core together. Cincinnati, I'm sure, could play another Cinderella season if they play their cards right. I don't know about Dallas. Dallas is an enigma every year. You don't know what you're going to get until they actually come out and show you. Green Bay depends on if they have Rodgers or not. San Francisco really depends on Trey Lance. I have no idea what he's going to do.
Why? But he can't be no worse than Jimmy.
We'll keep that open.
He can't be no worse than Jimmy.
Baltimore, again, they've shown they can win games, but they haven't shown anything to me. Arizona, and that's all if they keep yeah.
So, but hold on. But you see what you did, Charles?
We're judging already. I know.
We're judging. And so that right there is like, okay, me as a receiver, or since we're talking about receivers, I look at my options. Hey, I can go to Kansas City. Okay, I can go to Kansas City, have a great chance to win the Super Bowl. But I might not make the Super Bowl. But I could go here, and they're gonna pay me $20 million.
By the way, Chicago and Jacksonville, 27 and 28th, respectfully, on the list.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They're gonna pay me $20 million a year, 17, $18 million a year. It just depends on the person. What's more important?
You would take that, honestly. You would take that, and you'd be better served as a water boy on that team than you would be starting.
So Charles, let me ask you this.
Why are you in the NFL, Coach? What is your main purpose of being in the NFL? Main purpose? Championships, right?
No.
Not
for everybody. Not for everybody.
Okay. So you're in this league. You're playing your ass off, risking injury, being away from your family for 6-7 months out of the year, and you tell me you're not in it to win a championship? Oh,
no,
Coach.
Charles.
Charles. Right.
We just talked about the USFL. Why are they playing the USFL?
Because they're getting paid peanuts. They're trying to reestablish their career.
Reestablish their career so they can what?
Go on a team and get paid. And we're not talking about the people in the USFL.
Charles,
we're talking about highly sought after free agents who are not going to go ahead and sign with the Detroit Lions just so they're going to get paid $30 million a year.
If they offer them the money, they will accept it.
Oh, horse crap. I guarantee you, if Detroit offers Devontae Adams $50 million a year,
he's going to take it.
Oh, bull. No, bull.
Charles, so look, let me ask you this, Charles.
Buy that.
And I hope your wife is listening. Okay, so when I ask you this, you are a great host. So what would you take? Would you take $500,000 a year and you'd be host of the year? Or would you take the $10 million a year and it's a small chance you'll be host of the year?
You can't guarantee me host. Thing. I need to look at I need to look at the quality of the network.
Yeah.
If I'm on ASAP and ASAP is the brand, the creme de la creme, and they're offering me $500,000 to host, but they're the creme de la creme, I'd take that. If I got an offer for some low budget, which I don't know why they offer me $10 million, but if they offer me $10 million, whatever, and they're like, "Hey, listen, we're just starting up. We have no idea what's going to happen." You got to solidify your career.
But you see that though, Charles. You see people that was on ESPN now on other shows. Like that it's because of the money. Like we can sit here, we can say this. You want to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You want to win.
That's the question I have is why would you go to a team that has very little success now and you're 32, 33 years old? You want to get out of you're not looking to play forever. You don't want to be part of a rebuild.
But it doesn't matter. If I'm 32, 33 years old and you offer me an opportunity to coach, well, I'm saying coach. Play. Yeah. You offer me to play. Now I can set my family up for life. Now it's more so your family. It's more so your legacy. I mean, you could take where I work at.
Yeah.
Where the money that I make at this school, I could probably go back in the East Texas area and be the head coach, and I make less money.
But here's the thing. I'm thinking differently than you are. And I understand that, these players, we don't know what's in their heads, and I'm sure they got demons in their heads too, back and forth. But here's what I'm thinking. You go play and get a head coaching job. You're promoting yourself position-wise. I understand the money is not as great, but you can get to prove yourself in a position to elevate your pay if you prove yourself.
And I agree with you.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it goes both ways. You see, people make those decisions all the time. Of if I go here, I have a great opportunity to win. I know for sure I have an opportunity to win.
But coach, you're looking at players who have made millions and millions and millions of dollars already. How are they not set up for life if they were stupid? Unless they were stupid. This is the thing I'm talking about. Why would you go ahead if you're making 10, 15 million a year for most of your career because you're that good? Where the F did it go? Why would you want to why would you want to get that lucrative deal unless it's with a good team where you just want to go out and get a ring because your money has already been made? It really has. You see people, honest to God, Fournette came over on a garbage deal. Gronk came over on a garbage deal with incentives. Why did they come over here for? To what?
To resurrect their career.
Win a championship.
To resurrect their career. Fournette had the teeth went because he was in the same.
Gronk was going to resurrect his career.
But they were both in the same conversation. Leonard Fournette was in the same conversation of a bust and a terrible teammate because he got cut from the Jaguars. He went to Tampa and this is guys on the truth. His first year, he was about to get cut then when he had a little attitude. He cleaned it up. And then I think this was by far his best year because he was able to catch the football out of the backfield. Like he resurrected his career. And I agree with you, Charles. I'm a big believer in this. And it's kind of like what Tom Brady say. What are you playing for? You play for championships, you leave a legacy, you always get paid. Or you just get your money. Like I said, and I use two perfect examples. You take Tom Brady, you take Aaron Rodgers. What's the difference between the two? Aaron Rodgers can make all the throws, he's athletic and everything else, but he ain't taking a pay cut. He's going to get his money. Tom Brady, on the other hand, guess what? He takes pay cuts because he understands if I win or make it to the Super Bowl, now I have a legacy. Now, no matter what, I can go anywhere. I can throw clinics. I have TB12. I got my branding company and this, that. I'm partnered with crypto and I have all these commercials with Subway and I don't even need bread. All I need is avocado. Look, think about it.
That amazes me too because they called out Brady. It's like, what the hell are you even doing here? You don't even eat bread. Do you even eat bread? They call them out on the goddamn commercial. Excuse my French. Sorry.
No, but you see what I'm saying? So you have that, you have all these things, but that's the difference. When you make a decision and you could go back, and I think we talked about it. I don't know how we looked at quarterbacks. Look at the last quarterbacks that won Super Bowl over the years. The percentage of the salary is 10 to 15%. They're the ones that win it because you take the pay cuts because you have that. But again, you have people that it's levels. Like we said, who's the number one receiver?
That's out there, or that's free agent. Devontae's the free agent. Yeah, number one.
Yes. So Green Bay's going to franchise tag him. They're going to pay that $18-19 million. But if he hits the free agent market, he's getting paid $20 to $25 million.
So why not hit the free agent market?
But he can't because the Green Bay's going to franchise him. They're not.
Doesn't he have to accept the franchise tender? Oh no.
He don't have to. He's going to accept it because he wants to get the year. He might not come into week 10.
Oh, okay.
But he's going to accept the franchise because
I thought the franchise tag thing is they offer it to you like a contract. You have the right to accept it or decline it.
No, if you decline it, that means you just ain't gonna. You just can't go nowhere because you still own the rights. They still own the rights to you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's because but I think after this year he's done. He can't get franchise tag no more because I think it's only 2.
So he's already been franchised once, right?
Yes, he was franchised. No, he hasn't been franchised. I'm tripping. I got him confused with Godwin. Godwin has got franchise tag. He has 2 years of franchise tag. But
and that might be the end of his. I mean, what's his my apologies. How long does Adams have?
What?
What are we talking about? How old is Adams? Devontae?
I think he's 27. 26, 27. He's young.
I just want to see how long he's got. Yeah. 29.
Devontae Adams?
Yeah. 92.
Oh.
So say if he gets franchised this year, next year, he'll be 31. Going obviously still got a few years left to go ahead and make bank.
Yeah, he has 4 more years.
Yeah,
because he's a route runner. He's a route running guy. So,
but he's also risking injury too.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about the whole franchise tag. But even if he could go straight free agent, that's going to be the question. Are you gonna take the $10 to $15 million, or are you gonna take the $20 to $25 million?
Okay. And CBSSports.com did report a couple of days ago Packers are expected to use the franchise tag. So you got that.
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna let him just walk out the door.
No, I wouldn't expect him to walk out the door.
I'm gonna franchise tag his butt, and then guess what? I shop him around. You ain't gonna leave me without me getting something back.
So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show here. This year is definitely a intriguing conversation, I think, and we're going to get to all positions. So we covered quarterbacks and receivers on just this show alone. I think we'll go ahead and switch over to running backs and tight ends maybe next week, maybe even go a little bit further.
Yeah, we can.
And we'll definitely do that because that sounds like an intriguing. Again, we're all off season right now. There's no football going on. We're going to be talking where players may end up. There's obviously already talk about some of these players that are being franchised or maybe even signing, and that could very well happen in the next week before we air again.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question though, and I think we should post it. What do you think is more important, the ring or the money?
Ring or money? I think we need to go ahead and do that on Facebook. We need to open the poll
because I think that's very, very that's a great question because you'll see what people like. If you have an opportunity? We'll say 75% chance of winning a Super Bowl, or with little money, or a 50% chance of winning the Super Bowl, but you got your money. I think that's and you'd be surprised. It depends on the age of what people are saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, well, so it could very well depend on the age. So we have to give a specific example, like use Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, is at the end of his career. Well, at least we think he's at the end of his career, and just say, listen, you're toward the end of your career. You only have one ring. Are you in it for the ring or money?
Oh, it's money. Well,
yeah, I think you say money. If that's the case, I think the motor's done. He's just got no motor left. Why even bother? If you're just going to get paid and just treat it like a job,
Because regardless, if that's the case, then you redo your contract, and it has been stated that he wants to be the highest paid quarterback ever.
He ain't going to.
But
Mahomes has got that locked, and if they do make him the highest paid, I think it's a real disaster. Because you're basically screwing the whole team.
Yeah, because you're paying what, 40%?
45 mil a year for Mahomes. That's already a big mistake for Kansas City. That's what I think. Unless the cap goes ahead and jumps something astronomical, it's a disaster. Because guess who's next? Tyreek Hill. You take him out of the woodwork, and guess what? Does Mahomes have the same success? That's something we're going to have to find out because unless Tyreek wants to take a pay cut, or play for money to fit under the cap or incentive based. I don't know. Maybe
he's not. But again, Charles, it goes back to what we said. You can get certain guys, like you said, Allen Robinson. He can go to Kansas City for the cheap, and you have a great opportunity to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he's not going to outrun anybody. Not like he'll outrun everybody. Which, by the way, so the Pro Bowl skills competition, he didn't win. Anyway, listen, we're out of here. So thank you very much for tuning in on the ASAP Network. And make sure you stay with the ASAP Network for more great, awesome shows that they got going on here. So we'll catch you next week right here on the Touchdown Crew. Take care, everybody.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.